Hey everyone, Kaylee here. In this video, I will be discussing the Project Aurora case study. More details and artifacts can be found below. So following the acquisition, our product direction had not been defined, and so the company needed to identify the best path forward. So various teams within the organization were conducting research and analyzing the pros and cons of our two products. This is from analyzing business model, pricing, market, and the product itself. And then as part of this process, our sales team had actually engaged with over 30 of our key clients, and they were having in-depth conversations with them about these topics. So while the sales team was analyzing these conversations, it became very clear that a product-focused analysis was also going to be necessary to extract more valuable insights and recommendations that made sense for us. So I was tasked with this aspect of the research. So for the video, I've broken it down into kind of 3 steps. First is our synthesis, then findings distillation, which is kind of making sense of the data and generating those key insights, and then the findings visualization, which is just making a presentation as a way to drive the storytelling of the data. So for the synthesis, the first step, I guess, as part of that was diving into the data, right? I wasn't part of the actual research. I came in after. So luckily, though, there were tons of notes. So I went through all of the notes and the videos that had been recorded. It was about 30 in-depth 60-minute videos. So it was a lot of understanding. And then I conducted 3 different cycles of affinity diagramming to help me identify key themes, which I'll show you here. So as you can see, I'll kind of zoom out so you can see the 3 different phases here. So first phase is me just pulling in information by a company, color coding it, taking away the key aspects of each interview, and then diving more deep into the information, looking for some of those really high level themes that were coming into play. And I did that for both the current and then the SWOT analysis that had taken place. And then the last one was kind of breaking down those themes into things that made sense. So the outcome of this was I had about 12 different key themes with subcategories that I could use moving forward when I started creating the presentation. Another thing to note here was anytime I had questions, I would reach out to appropriate team members because I really wanted to make sure that I had an understanding and a deep level understanding of what was going on with the research, what clients were saying, what they were talking about in terms of different aspects of it. So that was great to have that support throughout my learning phase of this. So next was going into the kind of findings distillation. So at first I just did a lot of like pen and paper, writing down my ideas, trying to understand the takeaways a little bit more. And ultimately I was able to identify kind of these 4 main categories that I would use in the presentation. So it was product opportunities, integration observations, business growth and pricing, and then our SWOT analysis. So as you can see here, kind of just starting to do some blocking to like understand and just put things together. How would this flow? Which data makes sense where? So I did quite a few different iterations of that. And then once I had a good understanding, I started putting it down on a wireframe template just to get the data in and see how the content flowed and make sure that there were consistencies in it so that it feels really seamless and it feels like something the audience can follow. So I also worked with my director occasionally, bringing him in just to give me feedback on it, as well as to brainstorm some ideas to make sure that I was coming at this through the lens of something very high level, as well as very strategic. So with this, had a pretty comprehensive document that did a really great job, in my opinion, of highlighting the main takeaways that I identified through synthesis. And then the last one was kind of that findings visualization. So I wanted to take kind of this black and white kind of boring presentation and make it more visually appealing. My focuses were to bring in our branding, as well as have it be viewed as like a very clean, very professional and polished presentation that also flowed really well, guided the user and engaged them at the same time. So the final of this was this presentation that you'll see here. Kind of, this is just a little bit of it, but just to give you an idea. And so the result of all of this work was a shareable 60-page document. I did it in presentation format so that it could be shared, but it then could also be used to present with. And each of these, for the report, I've highlighted the key takeaways. I've dove deep into the data on those insights and key takeaways, and then I provided actionable recommendations where appropriate. And the impact was actually really immediate. The presentation circulated through the company, ultimately leading me to have discussions with our CPO and CTO about it. And then it became a key resource for shaping the product direction. And the response was actually so positive that they asked me to come in and do this for the supply side research that they'd actually been conducting as well on site. So that was really nice that it was received so well. For me, it was a great opportunity to practice my synthesizing skills. That's like a high high level, a high impact level, and then being able to work on my storytelling, presentation in terms of creation as well as execution, and then being able to contribute directly to the path that we took as a company was something really special and quite an honor. So thanks for listening.